Kia ora koutou te whānau. Nice to be here and nice meeting panel members. I think I might just slip through to the last slide just for a laugh here. I usually do things backwards, so we'll see how we get on. I thought I'd tell you a success story, actually. So a lot of the work that I do outside my peer support work is help develop and support groups. I like the word collaboration. I try to pull as many providers together as possible to contribute. You can see on this diagram there's quite a few people actively involved in one of these groups that I do. So the story that I'd like to tell you is I've been doing this for about 12 years now, and this woman turns up every now and again and she calls me Baldy or Roundy. She knows my name, but she doesn't use it that much. But she seems to get some kind of laugh out of calling me by these names, and it's all good. It's a kind of endearment. And she said, I hadn't seen her for about a year, and she said, I've just been to my doctor or psychiatrist or someone and had a shot. And he suggested I go out and be more socially connected with people. So she said, I thought I'd turn up to your group. And on this particular day, every month we have a jam session where people bring their guitars and bits and pieces. And rather than having a kind of therapy or check-in group, we just hang out and have pizza, coffees, and people can come and go as they please. And we have a jam session. And I got out my little instruments. We play guitars, and I said, "Oh, you can play this if you want, and join in." And she was really taken by this. And all of a sudden, she was trying to encourage other people, come and sing. This is really cool. And she was really, really happy. And I suppose, the work that we do, these initiatives that we try, how do we know if they're successful? And for this particular case, the following month she turned up again for the jam session and she had her own maraca, and I thought that was really, really good. So that's just an idea of having an open door policy, and we don't know who's going to get what out of turning up to a group on their own terms, but this was just a wonderful example. So as you can see there's a lot of organisations involved. Kaupapa Māori services, clinical services, peer support services, educational services, and the key or the principle to making this successful is everyone just donates what they can. Someone might provide a worker for a couple of hours, someone might fund a presenter to come along, that kind of stuff. So once again, how do you know what you're doing is successful? Well, I got an invite to go to a place in the South Island, Kaikoura. They wanted to develop some peer support, so I said, how about trialling this model here? So I sent them some background information. And when I turned up there was quite a big group of people from the police, people from the provider arm, mental health and addiction, people from the working gangs. There's a lot of, after the earthquakes in Kaikoura, there was a lot of people working, lots of drugs coming into town. So the Skirt was the organisation. They attended. We had the city council. We would have had the librarian, but she was at the vet getting her cat fixed. But it was a very communal type meeting. And we went through this process of talking about how it will be successful, what are some of the tasks that individuals will have to complete. And everyone got on board, and after 3 months they went, yep, we'll all go. We've got the date. And the bottom line here was there was meant to be a 0.5 FTE for our organisation to coordinate and facilitate this process. But she said, no, you're doing such a great job, we don't need you. We're all committed. and we start off on such and such a date. So if I think, what's working and what's not, if someone can grab an idea that's been developed and think they can run with it, I go, someone believes in it. So it's still going, which is good. But what is missing in a lot of these initiatives is good, strong leadership, coordination, and knowing the lay of the land, and being able to work when things get a bit quiet and problem solve. Anyway, these are some good initiatives. I suppose I'm going back about 10 years with this idea when it came up. I don't know if there's many people from the addiction and mental health sector here. Is there any voices out there? Yeah, a couple of fingers. Well, going back about 9-10 years ago, there was a lot of strong interest in coexisting problems, CEP. So there was a big drive from the ministry that services needed to work more collaboratively in that mental health and addiction sector. Once again, good set of principles. Here's the underpinning values. Here's some documents. Put it out to the wider community and move forward. But what we find is a lot of people don't read these documents. Everything sounds wonderful in principle. We talk about this as if it's new, but service providers often say, we've been doing that for years. So where do you take this argument? I'm probably new to this forum here today, but I hear we've got a new document. What is it, 300 pages? I tell you, there's going to be a lot of people that don't read that document. And I hear this word again, there's going to be a set of principles. Now, I do like principles. I grab them, I go, well, this is how I'm going to use these principles. But the next tier down, how do we roll that out? We talked earlier on, I heard the conversation, we need more leadership. We need to go back further than that. We need some infrastructure to grow people. In the health and disability sector, the mental health, the addiction sector, the key workforce that's been used, especially in the addiction workforce, is the consumers. 30% of the workforce has come from a lived experience. We know those that give get back. There's an energy that's positive that people can draw on. What's the hard message here in trying to grow that? In the health and disability or health sector, we hear this word restorative. Any person coming into our system should be able to learn some information to take back to their own environment for self-care. There's presenters that have come over here, international speakers, that have talked about recovery. Every touch point of the organisation and health system should spell hope. There's hope for me here. Anyway, I can rave on quite a bit here. I usually like 5 minutes just to tell you who I am, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed the story, and thanks very much for the invite.